Hello bearded bee people, welcome back to BeeKBs. Today is probably the start of like the true regular normal things aren't crazy anymore bee year. Most of our splits and new yards are well established now, so I don't have to be visiting them every other day, and then we're really making progress on getting a lot of the mating nukes populated, so I'm not shaken from bees every other day, and now we are on to just kind of regular inspections. Obviously each regular inspection has kind of an overall motive, and today's will be expanding the brood nests, checking to see kind of when new boxes are going to need to be added, adding boxes if that's something that I'm going to have to do, which I'm sure I will. So yeah, it's just kind of a normal, mid to late spring day in a bee yard. So let's get started. Okay, so just to show you what I'm looking for, obviously boxes like this need another one. These are getting second brood boxes rather than honey supers because the majority of what I'm adding is blank foundation, and I utilize these colonies as brood builders for nukes and mating nukes. So I'm going through, adding boxes, expanding brood nests when possible. But a lot of these are brand new hives, whether from packages or from splits or from nukes. So this is a brand new yard. So some of them aren't ready to be expanded. And then some of them just completely collapsed, like this. They have a tiny little apple-sized brood nest and an open queen cell and a tiny little virgin queen. So, I don't know what happened. Probably when we put those bees in there was a queen. She did what she was supposed to do for a day, and then they decided they were going to supersede her, or we had some drift and she got killed, or she got killed in transport, or something happened to her shortly after she started laying eggs, and so they have, like I said, a little apple-sized cluster of bees, and so I'm not going to let a little apple-sized cluster of bees raise a queen. So I pinched her and chucked her into the woods, and now I'm going to add that one on top of that one. This isn't necessarily a normal mode of action or a normal thing that I'm doing in late May or early June, but it is a normal thing to be adding boxes, and it is a normal thing to see some splits that just didn't take. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now, and that's what I'm about to do right here. First, though, I want to inspect this full colony, make sure that I don't have to worry about any swarming or anything like that, because otherwise my mode of action would be different. I'd be splitting. Okay, another thing I'm checking on is food levels. If you've seen me writing out duct tape tags, that's because for the most part I'm marking hives that I really need to get some sugar on. I'll do a video on those duct tape tags here in a little bit. I know a lot of you guys have asked about that. Okay, so I like what I see so far. We got some eggs, tons of food, in both the form of capped honey, open nectar being processed into honey, and bee bread. So this is a great outside frame. Bam! Capped brood, larvae, tiny little young larvae. Got a little honey band around the outside of it. Got some bee bread on this one as well, adding some color. So that's a good looking frame. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here over these next couple, unless there's something pressing that I should talk about. So we got brood, there's a cup, not a cell. Let me make absolutely certain of that, but it certainly looks like a cup. And it is. Okay. This hive's looking good. Beautiful. Okay, I have seen all I need to see. Okay, I'm going to checker this blank one right in the center. And I'm going to add that other one right to the top. Take out this feeder because we don't need two feeders in the hive. Replace it with a frame. Okay, let's go through these last few together, see if there's anything interesting to talk about. Do it kind of old Random Inspection Friday style, except for with a little bit more haste. I have to go cage the queen for somebody who needs one badly. Okay, so this is definitely going to need more space. Look for swarm cells on the bottom. They don't see any. I see a lot of drone cells, which is like a precursor to a swarm cell. But no immediate activity. Do you want to just see a couple frames? There's some open nectar. Some nectar and bee bread. Make sure these brood frames look good. There's a open nectar bee bread and larva and stuff in the center. Eggs all over the place on this one, along with the nectar and bee bread. Okay, now we're getting into solid brood frames. I'm going to pull a couple of these out so that I can move these up to an upper box, just to kind of more thoroughly convince them that now they have more space. Because if they are not convinced of that very soon, then I'll start to see swarm preparation. Notice?